we come back, it could arguably be one of the coolest jobs ever, ghost hunting. We're talking to the Maine Ghost Hunters next about what it is they actually do.
News Center 6.
We're nowhere near October, but the group we're talking to this morning pretty much experiences Halloween on a daily basis. We're with the Maine Ghost Hunters this morning. We're with Kat McKechnie, Tony Lewis, and Wendy Keith. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you for having us.
So what exactly is the Maine Ghost Hunters?
We are a paranormal investigation team that focuses primarily on scientific research.
And you guys started 3 years ago, right?
Yep.
What made you guys want to get into this?
I think we've all had our various experiences when we were growing up with ghosts or spirits or unknown activity, and we've always just had that desire to figure out what was really going on. So we got together. My Kat and I are actually married, so we have other similar interests, and we decided to put our heads together with another friend of ours and go out and do some research.
Now this is a lot more than just looking for ghosts too. This is a lot about disproving ghosts too while you're out there, right? Kind of explain what it is that you do. I'll go to you, Wendy.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that people come to us with a lot are orbs in photos. And there's so many things other than paranormal activity that can cause an orb. So we try to educate people as to what's really out there. And not everything, unfortunately, for us is paranormal, but, you know, we're looking for the truth no matter what it is.
Now, to you guys, how do you define paranormal, or how do you define what a ghost is?
Well, paranormal, the definition of paranormal is outside of the range of normal. So if we hear a voice or a vocal, or we capture that on our video recorders or voice recorders, and it wasn't any of us, then we consider that to be somewhat abnormal.
Now this, you were just explaining to me too before we went into this how in-depth this is for you guys and how much research it actually takes.
Right. We spend probably between 4 and 8 hours on location doing the investigation, and then we spend 2 weeks night and day reviewing that evidence. And we have multiple audio recorders, multiple cameras, multiple video cameras running all the time. And it takes a long time to review that evidence. You got 6 cameras, 6 audio recorders, and 6 film cameras or digital cameras. And we cross-reference it. And,
it takes a really long time, really long time. I do most of it. Wendy also does a fair bulk of it.
The audio review. Yeah, it's not quite as easy looking as it is on TV. It's a lot of work, and really, Kat does a great job cross-referencing audio and visual. So,
I mean, it seems like it probably takes a really, really fine eye to look at a video. What do you look for when you're watching this?
It's funny you say that, because Kat will call to me, because we have our computer room set up and we're back to back on each wall, and she'll call to me and say, "Come look at this." And I'll come over and I'll look and I'll be like, "Yeah."
He doesn't see anything.
Kat can catch something abnormal floating through the right top corner of a screen that nobody else can see, and then she'll focus on that, and she'll zoom in and she'll pay more attention to that. So Kat has a really good eye when it comes to video, and she also has a very good ear when it comes to audio.
Actually, they're always joking because I hear things that nobody else hears. So, and they're there on the audio. When we review, they're actually there, which
that is the truth. I mean, if I'm reviewing my audio and Kat says, "What was that?" I back it up and I listen again. And more times than not, I do catch something there. So
sometimes it is a real sound, but sometimes it's something that we just don't have an explanation for. So.
And I want to mention too that you guys, a lot of it is looking into the history of a home that you're investigating. 9 times out of 10, what is it? Is there some sort of traumatic experience that someone has gone through that causes them to still hang around?
Typically, that's what we've found. I mean, where we've had the most activity, the locations we've been at that have had the most activity, there's been something tragic that's occurred there, whether it's been a brutal murder, illegal abortions in the mid-1900s, or yeah, definitely something tragic. Even back before the house was built, it could have been something that happened on the land. So.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break now, but we're going to come back later in the show with the Maine Ghost Hunters and get a lot more information. We'll be right back.
News Center 6.
We're back this morning with the Maine Ghost Hunters. We've got Kat McKechnie, Tony Lewis, Wendy Keith. Thank you guys again for joining us. Want to delve into some of the most interesting adventures you guys have had. I mean, you tour homes and different places all over the state. Have there been some pretty scary moments?
I would say my 2 scariest moments were actually out of state. The first scariest moment was in an abandoned sanitarium with Tony here, and I heard I captured a voice that was very long, and it seemed to be pleading us to leave or something. I don't know what it was, but I heard it live. The second scariest moment was on the USS Salem in Massachusetts, Quincy, and I was the only person who heard a man answer a question that one of our members asked a question, and I clearly heard a man answer, "No."
Wow.
It kind of freaked me because nobody else heard it, and when I went over the evidence, it was very apparent that whoever said no said it right next to the camcorder of one of the people that was holding the camcorder at the time. So it was right there.
So it was right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You could hear it from the audio recorders across the room. You could hear it at a distance, but at that camcorder, you could hear it was right there, and it wasn't the guy.
Do you guys ever get nervous? Do you ever fear for your lives when you're in these situations?
I definitely don't. I'm the rarity. I mean, even as a kid, I was never afraid of the dark. I used to creep around the house without ever turning the light on. So I never get scared. I get exhilarated.
Have there been threatening voices, though? I mean, did they threaten you? Has anyone ever, have you ever felt anything?
I don't think they were directly threatened any individual, but there have definitely been noises and sounds of voices that were very, very disheartening. So they're very concerning as to what was coming home with us or what was there with us and what might happen that evening. So.
Now, of course, you were mentioning Maine has a lot of history here. What is it like to be ghost hunters in Maine?
It is the best. It really, really is. I mean, we have fans on Facebook who contact us from all over the world, and they're so envious that we are here in Old New England. So there's a house in Vassalboro that it's amazing, the Mill Agent House. We go there sometimes, and we allow people sometimes to come with us. So it's wonderful.
And the owner, Ray, is very open about having people come in and explore his house, because he really does have a very large house full of spirits. There's no doubt.
Now, for you guys, is this mostly just kind of exploring and getting deeper into this, or is there ever a point where you try to get the ghost to leave?
We've never been asked to evict the ghost or evict a spirit while we've been on our investigation or after an investigation. It's more, the contact we get from people in the public is more, they're hearing things, they're seeing things, they don't know what it is, they want an explanation for it. And typically when we explain to them what's going on, they're fine with it. They were just very curious and concerned that it may turn into something that would be negative.
And sometimes it's not even paranormal.
Sometimes it's not, correct.
Actually, surprisingly, before we got into this, surprisingly, we learned that most of the time it's nothing to worry about. Nothing.
Old house, creaking floors.
Once we show them the EVPs and they hear for themselves that the spirits are just asking for help or something, then they realize, oh, that's all that is. They're not trying to be scary. They just, we're interpreting it as scary.
What is an EVP?
An EVP is basically a spirit voice. It's something we can't hear right now, but we can capture on an audio recording device. If we could hear it right now, it would be considered a disembodied vocal, a vocal with no body. So,
why, is there any way to explain why it would only show up on an audio recording?
Because it's energy. Spirits move around us using electrical charges and energy, so they can manipulate the electronic devices, so they can embed their voice on the digital equipment rather than manipulate the sound waves that we could hear. So,
wow.
It is, yeah. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, the first EVPs were caught reviewing his tapes, so not out looking for ghosts, just listening to birds.
And if people want any sort of proof that you guys are really involved in this, they can certainly go to your websites. It's maineghosthunters.org. You've got plenty of experiences on there that you're showing on video and sound. What's next for you guys? I mean, you've got a few events going on today.
Yeah, we have a private investigation this evening that we're very excited about. It's in a very historic location, and it's a repeat investigation. But we also today are meeting with the public through our organization, and you can learn more about that from our website at maineghosthunters.org. You can come down and sit with us and talk to us about your experiences and learn about what we're doing.
We usually draw quite a crowd with that. And we also have our Blog Talk Radio show tonight, blogtalkradio.com/Maine Ghost Hunters, and we are interviewing a docent from an historical location that we investigated, Fort William Henry at Pemaquid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meet and greet though tonight this morning is happening.
This morning.
Where?
At, Portland Public Market.
Please join us.
Yep.
It's around 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, all right.
And you can find all the details about that on our website.
Right on our website.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. Certainly a lot of interesting information, and we'll be right back.